What Jack found out that Amy didn't know was this: how different schools selected their students. The chart we showed earlier depicted which types of students had good, okay, and fantastic chances at getting into the schools they want. As you can see, for the most part, professional polymaths fare pretty well regardless of the type of school they apply to. While on the flip side, humanities intellectuals need to apply to select schools to have a near average chance of getting into the school they want. For this reason, students who are humanities intellectuals need to be much more strategic with their application decisions. For example, in this case, since Amy is a humanities intellectual, she'd be better off applying to schools which are humanities havens, and although not as advantageous, political science paradises and business boroughs. A school like Stanford, a technology town, was the worst type of school she could have applied to, and almost guaranteed that she would be rejected. Now, if Amy knew what Jack knew, she could do a number of things to help her application. 1. Instead of leaning too heavily on her humanities background during her time in high school, she could present herself as a sharp social scientist. As a result of Amy doing a number of clubs and taking a number of classes which belong to both the humanities and social science fields, she has the ability to choose which field would best help her stand out and give her the best odds for getting the school she wants. This would change her school diagram from something like this to something like this, a wildly different outcome. As a sharp social scientist instead of a humanities intellectual, she would actually fare a much better chance than average of getting into Stanford. And if this is what she really wants, she can do just that. 2. Amy could have participated in more clubs and extracurriculars that help her move towards being more of a professional polymath. This means participating in a number of clubs outside of the humanities fields. Participating and excelling in clubs like Science Olympiad, Math League, being the captain of her swim team, or top scorer on her lacrosse teams would have helped her become more of a professional polymath. Or, since she was already a cheerleader and a cheer captain, she could have focused more on that in her application. This option is a very unlikely possibility for most students, as it's tough enough to balance their current clubs, and adding more would only increase the load and make it harder to do any of them to the best of their ability. Now finally, the last thing Amy could do is this. 3. Amy could apply to a different school. Instead of applying to Harvard and Stanford, schools who don't give a better than average chance for students like her, she could apply to a school like Yale, a humanities haven, to get at least an average chance of getting into the school she'd be interested in going to. Now let's take a look at Jack. Now in Jack's case, he doesn't really have to do much to change his strategy. He set himself up for maximal success by becoming a professional polymath early in his high school career. This put him in a phenomenal position to capitalize on and use it later when he really needed to. He did what every student should strive to do: figure out which school they want to go to, research that school, and take steps to put themselves in the best position to get into that school.